December 1993, West Berlin. The cold winter air is pierced by sirens. Police stand over the body of a man named Viktor Lekowski. To the German police, it looks like just another street crime, a deal gone wrong. But back in Moscow, intelligence agents knew better. Lekowski wasn't just a victim. He was the kingpin, the mastermind behind one of the largest art smuggling rings in history. For years, he had been draining Russia of its holy gold, ancient Orthodox icons worth millions on the black market. This is the story of how the KGB and later the FSB played a high-stakes game of cat and mouse to take down a network of thieves, corrupt diplomats, and restorers. This is the case of the icon smugglers. To understand this crime, you have to understand the product, Russian icons. For centuries, they were sacred, but after the Bolshevik Revolution, the Soviet government destroyed millions of them. They burned them, stripped the gold, and melted down the bells. But by the 1980s, something changed. The West developed an obsession with these ancient religious artifacts. Suddenly, what the Soviets treated as trash became treasure. Prices skyrocketed. We're talking about a market where a single piece of painted wood could buy you a mansion in Paris. And the biggest hub for fencing these stolen goods? West Berlin. The Iron Curtain is falling, and the KGB gets a tip. A massive shipment is being prepared for Germany. They tap the phones. They pick up a conversation between Berlin and Moscow. The smugglers are talking about a woman named Anya, or Anna, who needs to restore the goods before shipment. The KGB digs through their files. They find 4 Anyas in the art world. One is dead, one is in prison. That leaves 2. They zero in on Anna Buss and her husband, Vitaly. They seem like a normal, quiet couple living in Moscow, but surveillance reveals a different story. They've stopped seeing friends. They've stopped going to work. They are hiding something. One night, Vitaly loads a massive crate into his car. The feds tail him. He drives to a dark alley near Taganka Square, a classic dead drop. He meets 2 men, transfers the crate, and gets paid. The game is on. The investigators identify the buyers, Mikhail Appel, a store manager, and his partner, Alexander Klimov. Klimov is the dangerous one. He's an ex-military lawyer. He's smart, he knows the law, and he knows how to avoid getting caught. Klimov organized a sophisticated supply chain. First, low-level thieves would rob rural churches. Then, they'd hand the goods off at busy train stations, places so crowded that a handoff happens in seconds. Finally, the icons would go to Appel's apartment, the safe house. From there, they needed to get the goods to Germany, and Klimov had a plan that he thought was foolproof. October 1990. The smugglers are ready to move. They meet a contact at a train station, but something is off. The smugglers are paranoid. They drive erratically, checking for tails. The KGB surveillance team is struggling to keep up without being spotted. Finally, the smugglers meet a truck. Not just any truck, a foreign commercial truck. It belonged to an Italian firm called Farone. This was their cover. Legitimate shipping on the outside, contraband on the inside. The surveillance team watches them load the crates. They are ready to pounce, but then, disaster. The smuggler's car runs a red light at a busy intersection. The KGB car, trying to stay covert, gets stuck at the light. In those few seconds,
The target vanishes into Moscow traffic. The shipment escapes. It crosses the border. The bad guys win. For now. The trail goes cold for 2 years, but the investigators don't give up. They keep listening. March 1993. Likovsky, the kingpin from Berlin, gets arrogant. He comes to Moscow personally. He stays with his girlfriend, Galina. The wiretaps pick up a new plan. This time, they're not just using trucks. They have a VIP mule. Surveillance spots Anna bus meeting a man in downtown Moscow. He gets into a car with diplomatic plates. This changes everything. Police can't search a diplomat's car. It's the perfect getaway vehicle. This man, known as the husband, was an employee at a foreign embassy. He was using his diplomatic immunity to traffic stolen heritage. December 1993. The end came. The intelligence gathered confirms 2 shipments are leaving, one by train to Kyiv, another by truck to Finland. Likovsky returns to Berlin to wait for his payday. He thinks he's safe, but in this time, the Russian feds are ready. They have cameras everywhere, hidden in bushes, in parked cars, even inside the train station. At the Kyivskaya railway station, agents watch as the smugglers hand off boxes to a train conductor named Ira. She was paid about $7,000, a fortune back then, to hide the package. She thought it was just a parcel for a friend. She didn't know she was carrying millions in stolen art. Simultaneously, at the border, the Italian trucks from the Farone company are stopped. The drivers, sons of the owner, thought they had bribed the customs officers. They were wrong. The officers pry open the crates. Hidden behind false walls and everyday goods, they find them. Dozens of priceless icons, ancient masterpieces stolen from churches across Russia. The operation is a massive success. The drivers are arrested. The organizers in Moscow, Appel, Klimov, and the restorers are taken into custody. The corrupt diplomat is declared persona non grata and kicked out of the country. The smuggling ring is smashed. But what about Viktor Likovsky, the man waiting in Berlin? He never got his shipment, and in the criminal underworld, failure has a price. He had taken money up front from wealthy collectors for these icons. When the shipment was seized in Russia, Likovsky couldn't deliver the goods, and he couldn't pay back the money. A few days later, he was found dead on the sidewalk, executed. The investigation recovered hundreds of icons, saving a piece of history from vanishing into private collections forever. But experts say nearly 20 million icons disappeared from Russia during the 20th century. We found this shipment, but how many others made it through? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into the criminal underworld, hit that like button and subscribe for more true crime stories from behind the Iron Curtain.